So the second season of Netflix's Masters of the Universe just got a trailer. This season is called Revolution. There was some pretty massive hype around this show back when it was first announced, and when the first trailer dropped it got millions of views. It was a bombastic 80s throwback with Bonnie Tyler's I Need a Hero playing in the background, accompanied by a lot of really great action sets. This was promised to be the big battle that we've all been waiting for since the 80s. He-Man fighting Skeletor, a continuation of the original series. Basically, they made a lot of really big promises. Unfortunately, not only did they not deliver on those promises, it ended up basically being a bait and switch. Once the actual release date approached, they changed their tune about it being a continuation of the 80s series. And when rumors started to circulate that the show wouldn't be what was promised, Kevin Smith went on the offensive, specifically targeting Clownfish TV for tweeting about it. Things got pretty ugly, but in the end, the vast majority of those rumors ended up being true. He-Man ended up being killed off in the first episode, with the major focus being on Teela, who just wasn't really the most likable character in the first half of the series, turning her back on everything and everyone she's ever known, and tells Adam to his face that he might have died, but the rest of them had to live with that, and that was worse. Yeah, it was hard to root for her. Anyway, fans felt pretty burned by all of this, and it ended up killing a lot of the goodwill for the show. We can tell based on the amount of views the trailers have gotten. It got way less attention on Twitter and YouTube. Sonic Prime was the one trending, not He-Man, which kind of sucks. I mean, great for Sonic Prime, it was a good show, but I feel like if they had gotten this show right, they could have put He-Man back on the map. Personally, I'd be pretty upset if I was Mattel. I mean, this trailer hasn't even cracked 500,000 views on YouTube. That's a huge decline. The original trailer has 9 million views. It's pretty obvious that people are just done with this show and are totally indifferent to it. They really dropped the ball with this. I mean, who can blame the audience though? They did this to themselves. I think they're gonna have a huge uphill battle to get the audience back. Even if this season ends up being really good, they burned a lot of bridges. And to be honest, I'm kind of expecting more of the same for this season. I don't even really trust the trailer, considering what happened with the first trailer, which focused so much on He-Man only to have the rug pulled out from under us. The animation looks really good, but that's to be expected with Powerhouse Studio. Too bad it isn't for a better series. In this trailer, they explain that King Randor is dying, and I appreciate they're upfront about this, but they really like to kill off characters, huh? Do they know there are other ways to cause drama in a story? I mean, Adam twice, Orko, all of Preternia, including Mossman, which also was twice, Fisto and Clampchamp, Roboto. Like, seriously guys, get a new trick. Anyways, Randor lays on his deathbed. He tells Adam that he has to choose between being the hero or being king, and he can't do both. But what about Teela? I mean, if she's able to be the sorceress and leave the castle whenever she pleases, I don't see why Adam can't either. I mean, if Teela's going to set this precedent, then that means it is what it is. So what are the stakes here? They can't tell one character she has to make a choice only for her to not have to in the end because she's just built different, and then tell another character that he has to make a choice, and it can't be both ways. Besides, I think we've already established that Adam is also built different. As for the rest of the trailer, we see Evelyn, or Evelyn I'm assuming, standing with the heroes, despite the fact that she committed terrible war crimes, including destroying an entire realm of existence just because she felt like it, but I guess she felt bad about it or something. I mean, she never actually apologized, but I'm assuming she felt bad about it. But at the very least, she should be banished and made to fix everything she destroyed. I mean, if Adam had chosen to stay in Preternia, then he would be dead right now, since that was the fate of everybody else who was in Preternia. They better address all of this season. It looks like the major conflict in this trailer is the fact that Skeletor, now turned into a cyborg, is leading a revolution against Eternos with the tech cult, which we found out at the end of the first season was the Horde. I guess I'm supposed to be excited that we're getting Hordak and the She-Ra villains, but honestly my enthusiasm for anything involving this show is long dead. And speaking of She-Ra, it does really suck that we're probably not going to get her due to copyright issues, but we can get all of her villains, which is a little weird. The tech cult itself was kind of an afterthought in the first season, and I'm really not invested in Motherboard, and I don't really care what happens with her. I think it's cool that Hordak is voiced by Keith David. He's one of my favorite voice actors, but I never really had a of problem with the voice acting in this show, aside from Mark Hamill sounding a little too close to his Joker performance in my opinion, but that's not really a bad thing. It's just that I would prefer a little more Skeletor in a Skeletor performance. There's a quick scene in the trailer that kind of looks like Skeletor's face is melting off. There's not a lot of context to it, but I wonder if this is a reference to Keldor, which is a little confusing because this show has its own backstory for Skeletor, where he's an interdimensional demon, instead of being King Randor's brother who got his face melted off. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. We don't see a lot of Teela in this trailer, although I'm assuming she's going to be a major presence. She was the main character of the first half of season 1, and it ends with her becoming the sorceress and basically having no limitations on this power, but it sounds like she has her own mission, so she tells someone that she came to ask for help. There also seems to be a pretty heavy emphasis on shipping, with her and Adam giving each other this very longing look. They even use it for the thumbnail of the trailer. Personally, I think they ruined this ship, and I'm not really invested in it. I feel like the two of them didn't really hash out their issues in season 1. She was really mean and angry for the whole season, and then at the end they just kinda get together. They could have put more effort into the writing for their build-up. Teela has a new voice actor this time around. Sarah Michelle Gellar didn't reprise her role, so she was replaced with Melissa Benoist, who is married to Chris Wood, who is the actor for He-Man, which is actually pretty cute. But I think it's ironic that the cutest thing about this couple is behind the scenes rather than what's actually on screen. Overall, my expectations are pretty low for this season. I'm assuming they're going to double down on what they did before, considering the fact that they seemed pretty proud of themselves and told all the fans who didn't like it to grow the F up.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
You know, for a guy who basically made his career making fun of pop culture, you'd think he'd have a thicker skin. Just saying. So overall, we're gonna have to see how it goes. I'm hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Are you excited for Revolution? Or do you think it's just gonna be more Revelation? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to the members: Tyrant Carnivore, Shiny Orc Boy, General Bolivar, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Verdant Range, JVR, Hussyman42, Nixel, Phil C, Taylor Ramirez, Caleb Nelson, Takari the Professor, Equestron, Norman Sweetcream, Way Beyond Coincidence, Garcia XV Legend, Hunter Rose, 80s Nostalgia Guy, Felix Spam, Soundboy00, Kitsune Fiora, Lucas Geist, Jay Draws, Blue Spirit, Bandito Bane, Meowsers, Sky, Jin KZ, Philip, Stutania, Isaac Martinez, and Data Dine Executive. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. If you want to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. We also have Buy Me Coffee if you want to support the channel that way. And if you enjoyed this content, I'd appreciate it if you left a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and that part's free. Thanks again everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.